talking about the solar storm 2012. Will the movie 2012 actually happen? For the year 2012, NASA predicts that a solar storm may hit Earth. NASA posted a solar storm warning on March 15, 2006. This is due to a detection of solar flares which come from a solar maximum. Solar maximum or solar minimum occurs on a regular basis. A solar maximum or a solar max is the period of greatest solar activity in the solar cycle of the sun. Solar minimum is the period of least solar activity in the solar cycle of the sun. And here's a picture of the sun. The sun is a big ball of plasma that constantly disperses solar flares. The sun is about 93 million miles from Earth. The sun provides the planet with light and energy. Here's a picture of the sun's conveyor belt. The sun's conveyor belt is a current which electrically conducts gas. It flows in a loop from the sun's equator to the pole and back again. It takes almost 40 years for the belt to complete one loop. Depending on the pace, it can go as slow as every 50 years or as fast as every 30 years. The way the sunspot conveyor belt cycle works is, the top of the conveyor belt is the sun's surface. The belt brings up the magnetic field of the old, dead sunspots. The corpse, also known as the dead sunspots, are taken down to a depth of 200,000 kilometers. The magnetic dynamo can bring them back to life. Once the corpse magnetic knots are brought back to life, they become buoyant and float back to the surface. So in this picture, you can see the loops and you can see the core of the sun. So the Earth also has a conveyor belt. The Earth conveyor belt is made of water. The Great Ocean conveyor belt controls the weather here on Earth. This is a picture of the geomagnetic storm, and the geomagnetic storm is a temporary disturbance of the Earth's magnetic field caused by disturbance in space weather, associated with solar flares and resulting in solar coronal mass ejections. A geomagnetic storm is caused by a solar wind shock wave or a cloud of magnetic field which typically strikes Earth 3 days after the event. So in this picture, you can actually see the little yellow dots are the sunspots, and then you see that big burst of gas that shoots out. So a coronal mass ejection is when the magnetized gases explodes from the sun, going as fast as 1,000,000 miles per hour. The gases from the sun can cause a geomagnetic storm, auroras, and power blackouts. So in this picture, you see the auroras, which this is actually a picture from Alaska. So this is one of the Alaska auroras. So an aurora is a natural light display in the sky, particularly in the polar region, caused by the collision of charged particles directed by the Earth's magnetic field. Now, if a solar storm was to hit Earth, the auroras will be seen worldwide. So it's not going to be just seen in one particular area. It could be seen in different areas. As of right now, they're mainly in polarized regions. So this is a picture of the impact that a solar storm will have on Earth. So as you can see, for the United States, the yellow areas are the areas that will be impacted the most, and then the red dots are vulnerable to transformers. Now, some of the things that could occur if the solar storm actually hit would be blackouts in large cities, air travel will stop, GPS navigations will be useless, financial services such as banks will be closed, and emergency radio communication will be knocked out. So the impact of this storm intensity can bring great harm to Earth. this solar storm can possibly be considered as a catastrophe. Impacts can be priced at trillions of dollars. If you want to look more in depth on the information provided today, please review NASA's website for additional information. If this storm really comes, we all should make sure that we are prepared for the worst. It's better to be prepared and nothing comes than for a storm to come and not be prepared at all. So that is my conclusion on the solar storm 2012.